Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob. This video we're going to do our weekly preview of The Walking Dead Season 4. This one we're going to preview episode 13, Alone. Okay guys, welcome back. So episode 13 Alone, so far from what I've seen in the mini trailer they've been showing, that fog scene is sick. That is scary. Now that's some good stuff right there. After what we got this past Sunday, which I know it's been a 50-50 thing. I've heard a lot of people who loved it and a lot of people who did not. I was one of those that did not like that episode. I think you got to be a Beth fan and really pushing for Beth to develop in this series to really like that show. And like I said, I'm not a Beth fan, so it just didn't do it for me. And Daryl, while it was great seeing him for a whole episode, again, we know Daryl. You know, his backstory was no surprise. The little tale about, you know, the whole being almost shot in the head and getting into a fight and his brother being there and all that stuff. I mean, that sounds like common Daryl Merrill stuff when Merrill and him used to hang out together. So now this episode, the synopsis says, as one group finds what may be an ideal shelter, another group comes to realize that the best protection comes from those around them. So I'm guessing the latter part of that description is talking about Sasha, Bobby, and Maggie, where the other part of the synopsis, it could mean anything. It could mean that Tyreese and Carol make it to the sanctuary, Terminus. It could mean that for Carl, Rick, and Michonne. It could mean that for Glenn, Tara, Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita. Or even Glenn, excuse me. I was going to say Daryl and Beth, but obviously they burned their shelter down and took off. So we don't know where they're going to be. They might show them slightly, you know, maybe for a short span of time, and maybe they finally get on the right track. But now the interesting thing is we're going to revisit, obviously, Sasha, Bobby, and Maggie. So I remember one scene I saw Sunday after the episode. Within that fog, they were also at a graveyard. So very, like, traditional, spooky, scary movie kind of deal there. And, you know, being in a graveyard and it's foggy and there's zombies coming out of nowhere. And there was one shot, they didn't show it in the scene I just saw here, but they showed a shot of Maggie on the floor and it looks like she was about to get bit. And then they cut off. And then in this clip, they make it seem like Bobby's about to get bit. Then they cut it off. So it'll be interesting how that plays out. I think they'll make it through that. I think, again, and I've said this every week, I think the ultimate goal is for everybody to reconvene at the sanctuary unknowingly to each other, and that'll be like the season finale feel-good moment. You know, there's still that rumor out there that I've heard that there's supposed to be another main character death. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know if that's true or not, and if it is true, there's only 2 people I know of, according to what I read, but that's all I know. So I don't know if we're going to get that. I don't know if we won't. It remains to be seen. So that's that. I mean, but again, it looks like those 3 are in a really bad position, surrounded by walkers in the middle of a graveyard, and you can't even see 5 feet in front of you, maybe. Incredible scene. I can't wait to see that play out. I really can't. That looks very spooky and very exciting. Now, I'm sure next week also, or actually I should say this weekend, we're going to get probably a little bit of everybody, and that would be great. I definitely want to see where Glenn and Abraham and those guys are. Where are they right now? And I know they're going to run into another car. There's a good chance they'll find another car, and that's going to bring up a whole other conflict as to whether or not Abraham is going to push the issue to Glenn again. You know, Glenn's not going to go. He's going to go look for Maggie. So how's that conflict gonna turn about? Because you know that Eugene, Rosita, and Abraham are going to stick together. You know that Tara's going to stick with Glenn. So I'm hoping that doesn't get too ugly between those 2 groups, but we'll have to see. Will those people who invaded the house that Rick was in when Michonne and Carl were out getting supplies, is that going to have a repercussions after killing one and leaving him as a walker? those guys, maybe one of them are a good tracker, just like Daryl, and might track them down. So we'll be interesting to see if that is going to be an issue. Maybe there were the hunters. Maybe those are set up for the hunters, and we don't even know it. So very interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to Sunday's episode. I think it's going to be more suspenseful. It definitely looks more suspenseful, and I think we'll get more questions. I still want to find out what's going on with these rats. I mean, yeah, I guess we could pretty much assume that Lizzie's the one that's done it, but I just want some confirmation. Can we just get a little confirmation on that? We're going into the 13th episode. There's only 3 episodes left after this, and we still don't know who fed those goddamn rats. It's starting to bother me. And we still, I mean, yeah, we could argue that it's Lizzie, and it probably is. I just want some confirmation. I don't think that's too much to ask for. But anyway, so that's it. Episode 13, Alone, airing this Sunday at 9 o'clock. I will be here Sunday night after that episode to do my review, and I'm looking forward to it. For the most part, it's really been a good season. Last week's episode, just for me personally, was the worst episode this year. But outside of that, I've really enjoyed it. Second half is a little bit slower, but you could kind of understand that considering they're all separated and they're all, not really, they're all on the move. So it's kind of hard. It's a little bit more challenging to try and squeeze everybody into 45 minutes, and I understand that. With that said, though, I don't think any one group should get more than a certain amount of time. I mean, even Carl, as much as I did like that first episode going into the second half, I really think they should try and concentrate on all the groups at this point going forward, and I hope they do that because there's only, like I said, there's only 4 episodes left, and then after Sunday there's only 3. So, but we'll see what happens. So that's it, guys. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.